Welcome grade 6. In this lesson we will be learning unit 2 materials and their structure. And the topic will be 2.1 solids, liquids and gases. Learner's book page number 28 to 34 and workbook page number 16 to 21. The learning objectives are: number 1, to sort the states of matter into solids, liquids and gases. Number 2, to learn about the properties of solids, liquids and gases. Number 3, to use particle theory to describe the structure of solids, liquid and gases. And finally, to use particle theory to learn about the properties of solid, liquid and gases. So these are our learning objectives. Keywords in this lesson are: compressed means squashed, flow means to move smoothly, hypothesis, a testable theory, matter, everything that you can see, feel or smell, particle, very small piece of matter that makes up everything, pour means to flow from a container, property means a quality of a substance or material, theory means the idea that scientists have, vacuum means a space where there is no particles, vibrate means to snap, to shake forward and backwards with repeating movement, volume means the amount of space something occupies. Okay, now we have a started question. Think about it and answer it. Name 2 solids, 2 liquids and 2 gases. After naming them, copy and complete the table. Use the substance you listed in question number 1. Discuss your reason for each decision with your group. Now here we select tap water and oil. They are liquids and we can pour it. Pencil and bread. They are solids, we can hold it. Oxygen and air. They are gases and we can feel it. Now the states of matter. A matter, everything that you can see and feel is called matter. Now scientists sorts the matter in 3 groups. They are solids, liquids and gases. Now let's learn about solids. Solids keep the same shape, means they do not change their shape. They are very rigid. Solids take up the same amount of space. Solids keep the same volume. Solids cannot be compressed, squashed or poured. Why? Because they are very hard. So that is why it is not possible to pour the solids, and also it is very difficult to compress them. The second state of the matter is liquids. Now liquids take the shape of the container they are in. So if you pour the liquid in any container, they will take that shape. So liquids cannot be compressed. Liquids take up the same amount of space whatever shape their container have. Means if you pour the liquid in any container, they will take that shape, that space. The volume of a liquid does not change. The volume remains the same. Now the third state of the matter is gases. Now gases flow like liquids, but they will fill any closed container they are in. Okay, so gases are very easy to compress. The volume of gases can change. Okay, their weight is very little. Generally you cannot see or feel the gases, but you can sometimes smell them and you can feel air moving on your face. Now air is a gas. So these are the 3 states of the matter. Now in these diagrams you can see the arrangement of particles in solids. They are very near to each other. The particles are very close to each other. That is why solids are very hard and it is very tough to compress solids. Now if you see in the liquids, the particles are having little distance between each other. That is why when you pour the liquid in any container, they take the shape of that container. So the particles are little far from each other in liquids, but in gases, if you see the particles, now these particles are very far from each other. That is why they can be compressed. Why? Because there is the space between the particles. And if you put a gas in a container and after that you open the lid of the bottle, the gases will go out. Why? Because these particles hold each other with very weak force. Now let's learn about two things. Number one, hypothesis. Number two, theory. Okay, what is hypothesis? Scientists think about why these things happen and try to come out with ideas to explain it. They form a hypothesis, which is a suggestion for an explanation. So, if the scientist feels something, like a scientist can feel that you can smell food cooking in another room. Now, from this, the scientist can get an idea, and that idea they try to prove themselves. They try to prove why when we are cooking there is smell coming during the cooking. So they will prove that through experiment, through investigation. So any idea the scientist shows is known as hypothesis about a certain topic, about certain thing. That is called hypothesis. Now after they give their hypothesis, after they give their idea, what they do the investigation, they do the experiment. Okay, now they test their hypothesis whether they are correct or wrong. When a hypothesis is proved correct and it is accepted widely, means many of the other scientists also accept that hypothesis, that idea, then it becomes a theory. Now, particle theory. What is particle theory? It's very simple. Now, all the scientists have found that all the materials are made up of very tiny particles. These tiny particles are very small. You cannot see them with your eyes. You have to use the computer. So, according to particles theory, every matter is made up of tiny particles and we cannot see those tiny particles with our eyes. You have to use the microscope to see those particles, and the position and behavior of these tiny particles is different, as I already explained that in solids they are very near to each other. In liquids they are little far from each other, but in gases they are very far from each other. So this is the arrangement of particles in solids, liquids and gases. Now explaining the properties of solids. The particles in solids are very close together. This makes the solid very difficult to be broken. They are very hard and they have a definite shape and volume. Okay, so they cannot be compressed. Why? Because the particles of the solids hold each other with very strong attractive forces. That is why it is very hard to compress them. That this strong attraction and this hard nature enables the solids that they cannot flow and they have a rigid, a hard shape. Now in liquids, the volume of a liquid cannot be changed. The particles of a liquid are very close to each other. It is not close as much as they are in solids, but they have little bit distance between them, and liquids can also not be compressed. Okay, so the liquids can flow from one place to another place. Why? Because there is a small space between the particles inside the liquid. That is why when you pour the liquid in any of the container, it will take the shape of that container. So that is why a liquid does not have a definite shape. Now in gases, the particles are very far from each other and they can move in all the directions. So when you put a gas in any container, then the gas will take the shape of that container. And if you open the lid of that container, the gases will go out of the container. And that is why, due to the distance between the particles is very large, the gases can be compressed very easily. Okay. Now we are talking about some other thing, vacuum. Now vacuum is a place where there are no particles. Okay, so a vacuum contains nothing. The example is space. Now space is vacuum because there are no particles in space. That is why it can also be called a vacuum. Now high order thinking skills. Question: Kevin poured 1 liter of colored liquid from a cylinder container into a cuboid container. He records his investigation in pictures. Which picture shows what the liquid looked like in the cuboid container? Container C, as liquid takes the shape of container. So now the liquid is here in a cylindrical container. When you pour it in the cuboid container, this liquid will take the shape of this cuboid container. That is the proof that whenever you pour a liquid in a container, it takes the shape of that container. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.